As we head to the final month of the baseball season, the Brewers have a 5.5 game lead on the rest of the National League. Still got some work to do to not only get that number one seed, but wrap up the NL Central Division title. That's next here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. Your host, Chuck Freimund, proud host of Locked On Brewers, longtime sportscaster here in the state of Wisconsin. Thank you. And thank you for all of you who sent pictures over the holiday of where you are watching the video and all that. Some pretty cool places where you guys were up north and all that. But thanks you a lot. I appreciate you every day listening to Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is here. Visit FanDuel. Visit the app today. Start planning your futures bet right now. All right, coming up on the show today, September, here we come. Final month of the season. This is where you separate the contenders from the pretenders. This is it right here. We'll get into that. A great month of August, but still got some work to do to finish things off. Day off, a much-needed day off on Tuesday, and a lot of player updates. Injuries, guys who got hurt, even in Monday's game. We'll get all of that coming up here in a little bit. Brewers went 2-2 this Labor Day weekend. Started off winning on Friday night in Toronto. Coming back Saturday, 1-1 tie in the ninth inning. Chourio and Yelich go back-to-back, and you're thinking we're going for the sweep on Sunday. Contreras hits that 2-run home run in the first inning, and I'm thinking, oh, boy, here we go. I got the Brewers as an underdog again today, and it was never meant to be. Not without a fight. Even when the Brewers lose these games, it's not without a fight. And then, of course, Monday they had a 5-0 lead. 5-1 lead. 4-0, and then 5-1. And they started right away. I mean, the Brewers got all this early offense, and I'm thinking, man, here we go. Milwaukee Brewers, baseball 101. They bounced back, didn't play a very good game Sunday. A lot of errors, just terrible mistakes and all that. What's going to be in store for Monday? They come out and they get that 4-0 lead. I'm like, all right. They're taking it to another entitled division big market team. You know, they're after Monday, they're 15-3 against division leaders. And the Brewers just look great early on. Miz got in some trouble, and the bullpen followed suit. And the Phillies got some bats. Brewers got screwed on a call, in the ninth inning. You saw that. If you didn't, there was a check swing by Brandon Marsh. He went around. First base umpire Jim Wolf said, no, he didn't. And then a base hit, brought in the tying run, snapped an 8-8 tie, and that was it right there. Still thought the Brewers were going to come back in the bottom of the ninth inning, went quietly, and that was that. But, man, that was a tough one because that's a two-game swing with the Phillies. Phillies are now within 4.5 of the Brewers. Cubs are 5.5. Dodgers are 6. God, the Phillies, I mean, you would think the Brewers, they went on that 14-game winning streak at the beginning of August, but they have been, since that Monasterio extra innings home run on a Saturday night in Cincinnati, they have gone 7-10 in their last 17. 7-10. Some of these games aren't going their way. Isaac Collins, man, came up with a 2-run single on Monday, and you're thinking some of that euchre magic is coming back. Here we go. And, man, they couldn't. But 4.5 with the Phillies. Got to get that number one seed. I preach about that a lot here, but I'm telling you, I can't tell you how important that is to get one of those top 2 seeds, and preferably the number one seed. If they get the number one seed right now, if the playoffs would end today, we got a whole month of September, they would play the winner of the San Diego Chicago Cubs opening round series, because those two teams are playing the wild card, and the winner would be in Milwaukee on that first Saturday of October. Long way to go between now and then. Don't mean to look ahead and all that, but Brewers, yeah, they have some work to do. What I'm getting tired of hearing, okay, and I had a couple of guys today, I'm tired of hearing about it. It's like sometimes you can't win. I'm really excited about this team. I love watching this team. All right. Yeah, I get it. They have to win a playoff series. We know they have to win a playoff series. They've disappointed us, and they've had some nice records here in the last few years. And I get a couple of people coming after me, and they say, Chuck, don't put the cart before the horse. Don't get so excited about this team. I'm enjoying watching these guys. Yeah. I'm telling you, if they don't win a playoff series, you want to be honest? If they don't win a playoff series, I will be on them all off season again. Okay. You got to win a playoff series. You got to win a playoff. You got to. You got the best record for much of this season, this summertime. You got to win a playoff series. I get it. All right. You think I don't know that? Yes, I definitely know that. But I'm excited about the way this team is playing. To me, this is the most exciting brand of Brewers baseball I've ever seen. Okay. And somebody might say, well, Chuck, what about the 82 Brewers? Okay. What about some of the other teams? Yeah, there was more star power on some of the other teams. But man, for my money and entertainment, okay, man, night after night, even like today's game, they blew a lead, came back. I mean, this team will blow a lead and come back. Now, they've lost their last 6 games after leading. Interesting stat there. They've lost their last 6 games after leading. But man, this team, I feel it always goes down. If they're going to lose a game, it always goes down to the bottom of the 9th inning. And a lot of times when they get to late in the game in a tie game, like on Saturday, I feel like, man, hit FanDuel, hit that live line, man, because the Brewers are cashing it in. They did it on Saturday, and they got a 5-0 lead and could not hold on. Yeah, of course, they have to do something in the postseason. But I'm not going to come on here every day and say, with an asterisk, well, hey, the Brewers won today, but you know what? What counts is what happens in the postseason, because you know what happens then? I hear from people saying I'm too negative about the Milwaukee Brewers. And some of you guys don't like it when I'm objective about these guys when they're not, when they're playing bad. And I've always told you, and those of you guys who've followed my career and listened to me on the radio and all that, if it's bad, it's bad. And if it's good, I'm going to tell you when it's good. And I'm telling you, it is good with this team. Now, I don't like the way things have been going here the last couple of weeks. All right. They, again, a 7-10 run. Not happy about that. But I think we knew there was going to be a little regression to the mean there, right? You stretch that rubber band so far, they weren't going to keep on that pace. All right. And it's like, I feel like since that Cubs series, it's been up and down with Brewers fans, man. They're just like, this team is going to be out of the division. One guy wrote me and told me the Brewers last week are going to be out of the division race. The Cubs are going to catch them by Labor Day. Well, the Cubs are still 5.5 out. Rally to beat the Braves. Cubs got their own issues. Okay. And the Philly fans are coming after me today because I called them the Phillies entitled. Nobody goes more up and down than Philadelphia fans. So if you're a Philly fan is watching, you just back off and worry about your own team. You buy a World Series title every year and you still can't get the job done. Guy came after me today and said, well, check your postseason record. I get it. Check your postseason record with some of the stars that you got. Check your record and the money that you paid for. Yeah. But I'm telling you, we're in for a fun time here. And I would be, because anything can happen in these playoff series, but I think we're going to be in for a heck of October. We got to still close this thing out in September. Got 2 more games of the Phillies. And a negative person would say, well, we just can't get swept. If you get swept, it's down to 2.5 over the Phillies. And all of a sudden you're like, oh boy. Right? So Brewers could beat the Phillies. They're 3-1 against them this year. Okay. That's another thing, Philly fan. Brewers are 3-1 against you guys this year. But to get the tiebreaker against the Phillies, you got to win one of these 2 games, right? Because the tiebreaker is what counts for that seeding purposes. So you still don't have the season series clinched because you swept 3 in Philly earlier this year. Now you're 0-1 at home. So you got to win one of these next 2 games. The Cubs, you already know you don't have the tiebreaker. I don't think it'll come down to that, but who knows? September is crazy, like any other sport I've ever seen. Unlike football or the NBA, you get to September, man, sometimes the pressure gets to these guys, and I don't sense that happening with these guys. The pressure gets to some of these guys, some of these teams, and they see their lead dwindling. I mean, we've seen big leads dwindle in September before. How about the Mets in 2008? They should have gone to the postseason. They couldn't beat a bad Miami team in the final weekend of the season. The Cubs blew a lead to the Brewers in the final week of the season in 2018 and got down to 163, and the Brewers surged ahead in one game 163. So a lot of baseball to be played, man. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be fun. And the Brewers, I feel like they're going to hold on and get that number one seed. But got some work to do. But I love the fight in this team. Murphy got tossed in the top of the ninth inning. Don't blame him. Umpire told him to get in the dugout. You can't argue balls and strikes. Jim Wolf was having none of it and threw Murphy out of the game. But Murph having his team's back, showing a pulse, I like that. Unlike the previous guy that we had, didn't show much. If it was a pulse, it was a phony pulse. All right. Cubs. I was laughing when the Cubs were down 6-2 today to the Braves. Team lifeless. All right. So the Brewers did blow that lead. Uribe, who's had a great August, gave up 2 runs there in the ninth inning, but he should have struck that guy out. Brandon Marsh was down on strikes. So anyway, that's the way we stand right now, going into an off day on Tuesday. Off day. This is the first time I can ever remember a Tuesday off day. I mean, usually in baseball, you're playing every Tuesday in the season, except like that first week of the season. If you have a Monday game to open up the season, Tuesday, in case it's a rain out. I mean, I guess the Brewers have had Tuesdays off, even with the roof. So they played a Monday, day off Tuesday, and then they played on a Wednesday before. But a Tuesday off in September, it's because they just completed a stretch of 19 games in 18 days. Major League Baseball, what are you doing? What are you doing scheduling these guys 19 games in 18 days? All right. Even the Phillies. Phillies had a night game in Philadelphia. It's played on the Sunday night game on Sunday, and then came right back here and played an afternoon game in Milwaukee. Ended up winning. Now, I don't know what time Philadelphia got into the airport on Sunday night, but here's the thing is, if you thought the Phillies were going to be tired on Monday, I've been told this before with executives of Major League Baseball. It's usually the day after that, but the day after that is a day off for the Brewers. A day after that is the day off for the Brewers. So usually if you get into a town early in the morning and you play that game, usually you're still going on adrenaline, but it's the day after that where it tends to hit you a little bit. But with the Brewers and Phillies, doesn't matter because Tuesday is a off day. I don't like my off days with the Milwaukee Brewers. Selfishly, I don't like off days with the Milwaukee Brewers, but I'm glad these guys have an off day because they need it. They need that off day to reset. They lost the last 2 games, and they need to reset. When are we going to start talking about Bryce Turang being the best second baseman in baseball? Right? I feel like he's the best second baseman in baseball. You can tell me your Ketel, your Martes and your Altuves and guys like that, but I think Turang is unbelievable. I'm going to give you some numbers that stand out with him coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Prize Picks, great sponsor here of Locked On Brewers, daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but Prize Picks being right means cashing in. Prize Picks is the simplest, fastest way to get on all the action. Pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections. You could turn your takes into real prizes, all less than 60 seconds. But you need to download the Prize Picks app today. Maybe you like Turang hitting another home run. How about that? Turang a home run, Yelich maybe hitting a home run. A couple of those together. Download the Prize Pick apps today. The app today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's the promo code LOCKEDONMLB, $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Also brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. NFL season is starting on Thursday, going on next week in college in full swing. this past weekend with week 1. And FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't miss offer. Right now, new customers, you bet $5. And if that first bet wins, you'll get $300. Man, it used to be $200. It's up to $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So, new customer, you bet that $5. And if that bet wins, $300 in bonus bets on the app. Their live plays, tremendous. Maybe you like Philly in the live play. You would have got great odds on Monday. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. Place your first $5 bet, $300 in bonus bets into your account with FanDuel. My name is Chuck Freimund here on Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. I got to open my window again. Train is going by, but man, it is so hot. It was a beautiful Labor Day weekend, but when a train goes by, and it's usually going by when I'm doing this podcast, I had to close the window, but man, it gets warm in here with the TV lights on and all that. My podcast, by the way, if you're already watching us on YouTube, we're on the audio platforms as well. Google, Spotify, Apple, wherever you download audio platform podcasts, we're on all the platforms out there. There's dozens of them. Used to be a couple, but now there's dozens. Go to search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the alert, and that'll alert you every time we drop an episode on Locked On Brewers. But please, and none of you already on the audio version, on the audio platforms, go to YouTube. Search Locked On Brewers on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That'll alert you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. Turang, man, is unbelievable. I don't know where this guy's getting his power from. I know Murph was joking about it when Turang started going on his home run binge. And, man, 10 home runs here in the month of August. Adam McCalvey put out this tweet from Brewers.com. Turang hit 1 home run in March and April. Remember, they started play at the end of March. So, no, he hit 3 home runs combined in the month of April and a couple of days of March. He hit 1 home run in May, 1 home run in June, 1 home run in July, and 10 home runs now in the month of August. How about that? 1 in May, 1 in June, 1 in July, 10 in August. I don't know if Turang's been hitting the weight room or what he's been eating, but man, he has been unbelievable hitting dingers in that number 1 spot in the lineup. He was batting cleanup a couple of days ago. Wow. Unbelievable. Turang. And I looked, MLB.com did a article on the best second baseman in baseball to start the season. Turang's name was not in the top 10. They did the top 10. His name was not there. Horner for the Cubs was there. Marte was number 1. And Altuve, I believe, was number 2. Right now, to me, for my money, Bryce Turang. Like I said before, Mark Attanasio, you better lock this guy up long-term. Long-term. Because he's great. He's not only can he field his position with excellence, you feel good every time he comes to the plate. And now he's hitting dingers. 10 for the month of August. Unbelievable. So, Turang, just keep doing what you're doing. That price tag is going up on him. But, man, I'd think about doing a Churro deal with Turang real quick. And obviously, you'd have to pay him more than Churro because Turang is phenomenal right now. I don't want to see that guy playing for another team. I don't want to see Frelick playing for another team. I don't want to see Contreras playing for anybody else. Contreras wants no part of a long-term deal right now. He's been asked about that. Briefly today, I thought after Turang hit that home run, it dawned in my mind. I'm saying, man, we're watching these great players, these great young players like Contreras and Turang and Frelick. God, are they going to be playing for somebody else someday? I can understand not locking up a pitcher long-term because you never know. But you got to lock up Turang and Frelick and find a way to keep Contreras here. Those are 3 stars. 3 stars. Somebody asked me about Miz. You wouldn't go there on a pitcher just yet. because you just never know with a pitcher. Speaking of the Miz, he was asked, could you use the Miz out of the bullpen? He struggled. He kind of shrugged it off after the game. So that's baseball. Murphy says, we need him to start. He's a starter right now. So Miz is going to continue to start. Shelby Miller, on the other hand, felt a pop in his elbow. God, when is the injury? When is it going to stop with these guys? It's one after another. Felt a pop in his elbow. Man, that's terrible news. Not only for him professionally, but we need him on this team, man. We need him as a bullpen arm. Need him on a bullpen arm. Yeah, when he came out of the game, and then the news in the locker room about Murphy talking about a pop in the arm, that's horrible. God, let's hope that all is okay with him. All right, the Brewers did get some good news when they expanded the rosters on September 1st today. Get to that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. Are you still paying for full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill it up with the free Upside app. Download the free Upside app in the App Store, the Google Play. Start by earning cash at the pump today. Use my promo code SEASON. Get a extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up, and you could make it up to $300 a year just from buying gas. You already need the gas, $300 more. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people getting paid just for their daily commutes, and you can cash out anytime with your bank account, PayPal, e-gift card, Amazon, other brands. Don't drive by this offer. Use the promo code SEASON. Limited time, 25 cents per gallon bonus. Promo code SEASON on Upside. Offers vary by user and location. Go to Upside for terms and conditions. All right, the good news. Ortiz activated. Greg Yoho also added to the roster. We'll see how he's used. He's been better in the minors than he was up here back in May. Ortiz, good to see him back from the hammy. A lot of you were wondering about Hoskins. What is going to go on with Hoskins? The Brewers have not activated him, have not added him to the roster just yet. They have until September 9th to do that, or he's got to return to the injured list. Right now, Murphy says there's just no room for Hoskins. He said they have the right-handed stick at first base, the left-handed stick as well with Bowers, the right-hand stick with obviously Vaughn. There is no room. He said right now, Hoskins is a first baseman and a DH, but we have those spots covered. I get it. How about that? This team has no room for Hoskins. Bowers, a left-handed sticks for a while. Okay, left-handed bat off the bench, who they signed to a minor. Remember, back in November, they had released him. Then they signed him to a minor league contract. So he's going to stay for a while. Ziegler is still on this team. I don't get it. Ziegler is still on this team. I don't get it. So right now, Hoskins, no place for him. He is roadblocked right now, basically. Gasser, sounds like they're going to use him out of the bullpen. I wouldn't rush him back at all. I wouldn't put any pressure on this guy. He's coming back from Tommy John surgery. Why are we even thinking about using Gasser in September and much less in October? He was on the postseason roster. I don't get that at all. Urias traded to Boston, got signed by Seattle. Oakland, dumped by Oakland. Brewers signed him. And they signed him to a minor league deal. He is there just in case there's an emergency. They sent him down to Nashville just in case, with the injuries and all that, you have him in the waiting. A lot of people are excited about him being on the roster or them signing him. All right, there's a reason why he's bounced around from 3 different teams. He is there as an emergency, just in case you need another player. Another left, he can play shortstop, he can play third base, second base. Urias, they are just signing him as backup. He's not playing any role on this team unless he needs to. How about Churrio's return? Almost went yard his first time up. Hit the solo home run to untie the game on Saturday. 4 hits on Sunday. God, the guy just is a winner. Out for most of August. He comes back and he pretends like he's never left the lineup. The guy is great. Guy is great. All right. And so are the Brewers. Guys, don't get on the Brewers. Man, they're 2 games skid here. Tuesday, a much needed off day. Can reset everything, refresh the team. Players were talking in the locker room how much they needed this off day. And I know some of you guys are saying, well, it's baseball. No, it's still taking its toll. It's late in the season. Late in the season, be playing 19 games in 18 days is a lot. It takes its toll. You're traveling and all that. Doing this every day. It is. It's a toll. It's a grind. Got to reset the bullpen. Got to reset everybody on that team. And come back Wednesday refreshed. Hope these guys enjoy their Tuesday. And I hope you do as well. My name is Chuck Freimund. Again, hit me up on Twitter. You guys ever have any questions? I'm always there for you on Twitter. Chuck Freimund, Freimund. This has been Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. We will see you late Tuesday night. There's no game on Tuesday. We'll have Locked On Brewers anyway on a late Tuesday night. We'll see you then.